Hi, my name is Lindsay Williams. This is my teaching and technology presentation for Sped 6011 in Module 2. I think in order to understand my philosophy and my approach towards teaching and teaching with technology, I need to first talk about my students because they're the center of everything I do and they play a huge role in shaping my philosophy. So my students are kindergarten through second grade age and they have various disabilities affecting their academic and behavioral performance in the school setting. So I primarily work with students with academic needs, but all of my students also happen to have behavioral needs as well that we address really throughout the day. That's really embedded in my academic instruction. So the school that I work at in Wilmington, North Carolina is 99% of the students are economically disadvantaged and they come from some difficult situations that impacts their focus in school. They've got really big problems they're dealing with and things that they carry into the classroom with them that understandably that we discuss a lot and that we have to work through that impacts their social and emotional health. So that's a big part of who I am as a teacher and understanding how do I help them as a teacher, what can I control and what can't I control. That is something that I've been learning as I progress through my first year of teaching. And another interesting thing that plays into my role as a teacher is all of my students are African American and I'm white. So there's an interesting racial relationship there that I have to build a lot of trust with them. They come from a different demographic and they have every right to ask why, why do I need to listen to you and why, what do you have to offer me really that we have to discuss, and that I really have to spend a long time building trust with my students and building a strong relationship before they will take me seriously, before really that they will acknowledge what I have to say. So that was a huge learning experience for me. So with all of that background information, considering all of that really impacts my approach to everything in my classroom, and everything that I believe about teaching is relational. A student isn't going to listen to someone they don't like and that they don't trust. So a huge part of my philosophy towards education and towards teaching is you have to have a relationship with the student first. You have to express interest in their interests, and you have to keep tabs on them with what they're doing outside of school, how their family's doing, and really just expressing an interest in what they're interested in. That is huge for me, and that was really kind of a light bulb moment for me in my first year of teaching, that classroom management got easier and things got smoother when I built a relationship with my students individually and they realized that I really do care about them and what they're interested in. So building technology into that, I think I get the feeling from maybe some other teachers in my school, or I get the feeling that technology can be kind of isolating or can kind of replace a teacher or work to replace social interactions in the classroom, and I think that's absolutely not the case. I think technology can enhance those relationships and provide an opportunity for those interactions where we can't be face-to-face, which we learned this spring when we had to move to online instruction. So my approach to technology in the classroom is, as a relational teacher and a relationship-based teacher, I'm looking at technology to enhance those relationships and to strengthen those relationships instead of replace opportunities for us to interact socially. So another cool thing about my school is we're a STEM school. I teach at the Rachel Freeman School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. So one of my students' special areas that they rotate to every week is a STEM lab. So I'll walk in and check on them and see how they're doing, and they'll be doing some simple coding with a robot, and they'll be building structures using engineering and planning with technology. So my school places a huge importance on technology and integrating technology into instruction. So that is something that has kind of allowed my school receives funding to have some technology in the classroom. So moving into the inventory of technology in my classroom, I have a smart board that I use on a daily basis through most of my large group instruction. And I have 4 student iPads that I use more with stations because there's not enough for everyone to use one at the same time. And I also use 2 desktops for students that we use during stations and we'll use for some independent work too. And I also have my own personal desktop that is hooked up to our smart board. And I have the opportunity to rent the laptop cart if needed, but I normally don't do that because I'm thankful that my school has the technology in my classroom, that we don't have to leave for technology, to use technology very often. And I think moving forward, my first year was a huge learning curve and really forced me to learn the technology in my room with the smart board. And looking back, I remember starting out not feeling very confident about using the smart board. And looking back, I realized I learned a lot using it every day. And now I would say I'm pretty comfortable using it for displaying videos and writing. We'll solve math problems on the smart board. And I would like to improve in this area by providing my students more opportunities to interact with the smart board, especially because they're very engaged by seeing me write on the smart board and touching it and seeing that it's touchscreen. They're very engaged by that. And I think I kind of erred on the side of, oh, Miss Williams is going to write on the smart board, Miss Williams is going to touch that, and you tell me what you think the answer is and I'll press it. And I think this next year I would like to move into more interaction with my students using the technology instead of me using the technology in front of my students. I want it to be more interactive. And I think the more opportunities they have to interact with that technology, it really increases engagement and decreases issues with behavior and classroom management, because they're paying attention and they want to use the smart board, they want to use the iPads, and I think that technology is very motivating for my students. And that's an area that I would like to improve with just allowing them more opportunities to interact and have trial and error and problem solve on their own instead of me jumping in to problem solve for them. And I think this will be especially true moving forward. There's so many unknowns about the upcoming school year, but one thing that I do know is we will have to be flexible with technology, and I would not be surprised if we spent time using technology for primary instruction if we can't be in the classroom together. So I'm very thankful to be taking this class now and learning more about technology and coming up with actual concrete plans of what to do when we're back in the classroom, hopefully, or if we're back with virtual instruction. But to sum things up, my approach towards technology in the classroom is I'm a relationship-based teacher, and technology can enhance those relationships and help them to continue if we're not in the classroom through Zoom that I've had the opportunity to do this spring, and will probably have some opportunities to use this fall. So I think technology is a fantastic tool that my students love, that they are highly engaged by, and I need to acknowledge that and use that as a tool to advance our instruction and to increase engagement in the classroom. Thank you.